Yo, bitch. When I freestyle, I'm gonna say, are we live?
Daddy.
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh,
As far as I know.
I don't go to. Oh shit. Go to JollyVille 26 is live. Oh shit.
That's us. We're live.
think you can hear the music if we're live?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, we can go ahead and pause that. I don't think I have a freestyle in me right now.
You don't have a freestyle in you?
Do you?
I don't know. I think we can take a pull. And
We'll
then
definitely bust out the
pull.
guitar in a little bit, and then I'll.
Get loose.
Yeah.
No Grey Goose if you don't get loose.
That's what they say.
Are you guys comfortable with me pulling from the
We're
bottle?
very comfortable with that. Is our audience? You should ask them.
Viewers, are you comfortable with me drinking college
Sorry.
liquor straight from the bottle?
Our two viewers. Oh no, our one viewer.
Though people will tune in later, though. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. You want to start? Special K?
What should we talk about?
No, maybe introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. My name's Kamala. My name's Kamala. Yeah, so I'm interested in film. That's why I got involved with that.
Most people call me Mac Daddy, but the people here, they call me Joseph, so...
I feel like we could transition pretty easily to Mac Daddy. It's pretty like natural for you.
I feel like
I was called that a lot in high school.
I can't do Mac. I can do Mac Dizzle. Mac Dizzle. Make extra corny.
Best thing.
Yeah, no, they would, it was mostly like Joey Mac Daddy.
My high school and college nickname was A-Bomb, which is like corny as hell. No. But I'll go by A-Bomb. Shit. I'll go by Adam tonight.
Scary as hell. I'll go ahead and go by A-Bomb. No, I will. I'll go by A-Bomb.
Oh, yeah. What's up, A-Bomb?
So, I think we should talk about movies maybe to start, since we're all movie people.
Movies.
And Joe, I know you were like trying to talk about this a couple Grindhouse movies potentially last week. Are those movies still on your mind?
I mean, they can be.
They might as well be.
Why don't we talk about recent movies that we've seen?
Yeah.
Okay, that works too.
Like, I know Joe brought up that question. You guys see anything recently?
In theaters, I did. I saw Bohemian Rhapsody last
No
night.
shit.
Yeah. So
Spoiler alert or no?
I have been drinking,
Oh,
when I went to see it.
surprise.
and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a movie that was very fit to watch in theaters. It's a very big movie.
Okay.
I mean, Freddie Mercury, a larger-than-life character. Queen concerts, larger-than-life events. I thought it played really well in a theater. I had some problems with some of the acting, some of the ways that they portrayed Freddie Mercury. Are you guys Queen fans at all?
I like
Or,
Queen.
You know,
I like
know about the history.
Freddie Mercury's the shit.
Spoiler alert, he dies.
Ooh, when?
Freddie Mercury dies.
Fine, that sucks. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
You? What? That just blown my mind.
Yeah.
No.
And
Didn't he have AIDS?
yes.
Yes.
But it was weird the way they did it, because they made it seem like the Live Aid concert, which happened in, I think, 1985. It made it seem like that was like his last show. Like, he knew he was dying and he was going up on stage and he was going to like die right afterwards. That's how the movie made it feel, and that's not at all like how it was. Like, he got diagnosed later, as far as I know. And it's just like, they were playing fast and loose with history, and I don't really like when a movie does that, especially when like the emotional, like, yeah, the climax of the movie was that moment, and you're meant to believe that he's dying on stage, and not a thing.
I mean, when has a biopic not played fast and loose with history?
That's true. Well,
To some, like,
you almost have to a little
well,
bit.
yeah, you have to, but like,
Makes it more fun. If someone was, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but like people believe it is like the truth in history, right? They'll see the video,
Right.
or the movie, or the film, or whatever you want to call it, and then they'll be like, "That's legit." Yeah, that's allowed. That's a snare table. It's one big snare drum.
that's why one of my favorite biopics of all time is Nicholas Winding Refn's Bronson.
Nicholas
What is it
Refn?
about? Charles Bronson?
It's about
Action Bronson.
not the actor not the actor Bronson, but this prison, like a Britain's most famous prisoner who decided to go by the name of Charles Bronson in the 18 months that he was free out of the 27 years he spent in solitary confinement.
That'll mess with you. I was about to say,
like, it just plays right into like Bronson's desire to just like be famous, and so like he'll just keep cutting back and forth between him like monologuing to this unseen audience and just like playing it all up. It's like, all right, this is a biopic, but it knows that it is, and it's just trying to like have fun with it, as opposed to like trying to say like play it straight faced like so many others that play Fast and Furious like history.
Yeah, so they're kind of like taking the piss out of the fact that they're making a movie on him the entire time. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a better way to go about it. Probably.
It's also just a really good movie.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Have you heard of Refn?
Nope.
He's the guy who did Drive.
Oh, I did hear about Ref. Yeah, he's the guy who did Drive. And he did a lot of other shit. Didn't he do Only God Forgives?
Yes.
Yeah. That's another beautiful movie. He did a couple other ones. He's
Neon Demon, the Pusher trilogy.
Yeah.
Valhalla Rising.
Never saw that, but it sounds cool.
Valhalla Rising is an interesting movie. I have seen it once. Where Mads Mikkelsen is just like this mute Viking warrior who is conscripted pretty much to like fight in the Crusades, and instead of getting to the Crusades, they end up in North America.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You got good audio. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt for that. I was worried that we weren't even going to be recording or something like usual. It turns out not only are we recording, it sounds pretty good. Sorry, go on.
That's debatable. Well, viewers, does it sound good?
Comment below.
No. You got. If you are out there watching,
We
go
don't see comments.
leave a comment.
What do you guys?
Turn your mic up a little bit. Just twist just that way.
just like
towards your face.
Very. I mean,
You did it like actually directly.
Right. Yeah. These are very directional mics.
okay.
Check. Mic check. Check.
I think we're good. I mean,
That
people can
sounds
still
better.
hear me, right?
You sound a lot better now.
I have to actually be like an inch away.
Yeah.
So, back to Bohemian Rhapsody. Did they go through like the whole playlist of songs?
They played pretty much every song on Queen's Greatest Hits.
Okay, so all
I think
the
the
bangers.
only ones that
Greatest Hits album. There are as many Queen's Greatest Hits albums as there are Queen albums.
because their songs are so great.
What's
No,
your
it was like the one I had growing up was the maroon one, whatever one that is. So they played like that
There's a
whole.
maroon one, there was a blue one, and a silver one.
Okay. From my memory, they played almost every song on that album. They left off. I don't even. They played pretty much every song as far as our.
Did they play
as I
Don't
remember.
Stop Me Now?
They did play Don't Stop Me
Did it
Now.
show
That's all I care.
people
They played it at a
beating
key moment,
zombies with
too.
glow sticks in rhythm to Don't Stop Me Now?
They didn't.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Right. Yeah, that should be in most movies. It's weird
Yeah.
that it's not.
That should just be a requirement for movies in general.
I'm watching Walking Dead right now, and they haven't used that classic movie trope yet, which I think is kind of weird.
How far into The Walking Dead are you?
About to finish season number 2. I don't think it's a well-made. Okay, I don't want to say that. It's like I like watching it because zombie murder porn is fun to watch.
I used to watch it as well, but I stopped
Acting's
like at
weird,
the beginning of the 4th
bad.
season because up until I just stopped watching it, I never felt like they had a better episode than the pilot.
Okay, I agree with that.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think they've beat it yet. I don't think they've even tried. I feel like they've just tried to string me along. I feel like I'm being scammed still.
Yeah,
Since the pilot.
That's also like one of the few like graphic novel series I will not read because I do not want to buy 3 compendiums worth of comics, aka like 120 issues, just to get caught up.
Yeah.
That is a lot of story. I want my stories shorter, like 16, 24 issues max.
Heard that.
I've
I've never even heard
I've actually
compendium.
read I've actually read the comics. It's pretty good. I mean, I think you keep on reading it, it gets you sucked in, but after a while, it is a slog. Like, it's a lot of stuff. So, I think I only got through season 4 or 5 and I got tired.
watching her comics.
They're the comics.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, this is wow, it's a lot.
Do you think, like, I mean, are there any comic series? You see, do you read like more comics than Walking Dead, or did you get into that because you heard of them through the show?
No, I actually back in college, one of my other
yeah.
like one of the members of my filmmakers club, he was the one who turned me on to comics.
In general.
But yeah, but he as much like he turned me on to like crime comics by like Ed Brubaker
Okay.
and Sean Phillips.
Do you think, are there any like comic series out there right now that are just begging to be made into movies or series that
yes,
haven't yet?
Ed Brubaker
I'm
and
listening
Sean
still.
Phillips' seminal series, The Fade Out. It's a 12-issue miniseries about like a noir murder mystery set in the golden age Hollywood, following basically.
Cut the frame. It follows the what, Joe?
It basically is about this screenwriter. This alcoholic screenwriter. He wakes up after a blackout and finds this the starlet of the studio he works for dead in her apartment. And
That's cool.
yeah, and he basically tries to navigate the 1947 Hollywood system to try to
Like
figure out
LA
who-
Confidential style.
Like he's also a ghost like he doesn't actually write his stuff himself. Like he actually has a writing partner who he ghost writes for, because his writing partner was basically put on the Hollywood blacklist for communist sympathies.
Oh shit.
And they try to and they're trying to find the starlets killed. And it basically just like a portrait of just like the seedy world of.
We should make that movie.
Yeah, it's 12 issues. It's like it'd be a perfect like movie, if not a movie, like a mini series.
Too bad we don't have copyright on that content.
But I know Ed Brubaker has had a lot of stuff based off of his writing. Like he was the one who originally created the Winter Soldier in Captain America.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like what I felt about that. Like I don't know. I'm not the biggest on comic book movies, honestly. Like I'm not the biggest on it at all.
Like pretty much with comic book movies nowadays, all these, at least all the big ones, are superheroes. Like if we had more superhero, like if we had more comic-based movies like Snowpiercer.
I've never seen Snowpiercer.
Oh, it's a great movie. I've never seen Snowpiercer. Oh, it's a great. But like if you had more like movies and TV shows based off of indie comics,
That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. But it's hard to get the budget to make a comic film because they're so labor intensive and like CGI intensive and all that
well,
stuff.
like I say, that's for superheroes. Like comics as a whole takes over. Like it can be any genre you like.
Well, comics typically feel to me. I don't like. I'm not the best like critic on this, but they feel like surreal, right? They don't feel like real life. And there's a lot
But
of
there
like
are also
effects.
like a lot of like really good comic series that are just like straight up slice of life stuff. Like
Yeah, but then
like my
why
favorite
not just
graphic
make a
novel
movie?
recent-
You know, like
I mean, because like well,
I'm back.
he's back. He's back. He's almost not in frame, but he's back.
Someone should fix that.
Yeah. It's not like any of us are videographers.
yeah.
So, other than Bohemian Rhapsody, anybody else with any new movies? I saw one recently.
What'd you see?
I saw mid-90s. You guys hear about that or no?
No.
It's Jonah Hill's. No.
I know it's
It is awesome. All right, first off,
I have heard about that. Sorry.
First off, it's released on A24, so best production / distribution company out there at the moment. And it's Jonah Hill's first shot at directing, which is awesome. And it's a movie about the 90s. Were any of you guys skating?
Nice.
Ice. Oh shit.
It's nice, man.
Cool down, fellas.
No, this is the segment where I try to drain ice cubes. What are you doing? Yeah, okay, I don't have to. Can I try one?
In the cup. Okay.
We need some. Hold on. Can I get you a tune
Yeah.
to do it? That's gonna be.
I can play the Rocky theme.
Okay.
I work out. I just perform generally better to that music.
Rocky theme?
Yeah.
I
I believe it's called "Gonna Fly Now."
Yeah. Why did I search Rocky theme?
There you go.
That was me humming. Okay.
Okay,
Keep
should we
trying to
be here?
upload it. Wait.
Here? Are you good?
Wait. Here? Am I good?
Depth perception okay? There is rum everywhere.
That deserves a pull.
Alright, folks.
That's not added.
Alright, this is also a UFC Hypecast, by the way. It's UFC 230. So, I think, like, legally we have to talk about the UFC, even though none of us know anything about the UFC.
Well, I mean, I would assume you're the one who knows about the UFC, because when you originally invited me to come here, it's like, hey, we're gonna watch a fight.
That was
and also
a Conor McGregor fight.
It's still a fight.
He's not part of the UFC.
Yeah, he's a pop culture icon.
I'd say he basically transcends the UFC.
Oh, yes, for sure. He transcends sport. He transcends most things. He's an icon. He's become probably the biggest sports figure of the human. No,
Yeah,
but he's.
I was about to say,
That.
there's this guy, Max Broderick, who just nailed Ice Cube shot on live podcast.
I called Khabib out on the last podcast, and I haven't heard nothing from him yet, which I thought was kind of weird. No response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may just be biding his time.
He's just waiting.
Khabib, if you're out there,
Oh, sorry.
Max is waiting.
I have dragged this conversation down.
All right, let's get back to movies.
Let's get back to movies.
All right, yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, if you guys want to hear a little bit more about mid-90s.
That being said, though, Derek Lewis going to knock Daniel Cormier out tonight. It's going to be quick. Okay, back to movies.
Back to Nugs.
Be fast.
Fast and Hard.
Fast and
Fast
hard.
and Hard's movie segment.
That's the way we do it.
Well, if you're not going to talk about mid-90s anymore,
So whatever.
I thought were you trying to still talk about
I like the movie a lot, but like it seems like you guys are like
Well, what's
deflating me.
No, what's the synopsis?
Because I'm not Conor McGregor. I just can't.
The movie had really good hype. I mean, I heard about it.
It did well for indie at the box office. Honestly, like indies, or it's not really an indie, but like it's released with a lower budget. It's honestly Jonah Hill's first option at directing, and it was actually shot in a really cool aspect ratio. Anyhow,
Didn't he also do? I think he's gonna get really good at this because he's young, first of all, and he also did Maniac, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Was he just a producer, or did
I think
he?
it was just a producer. So that's also a TV show, technically.
Right.
Was there episodes?
No, yeah, I agree, but I mean, it's it's a creative endeavor similar to film.
yeah, for sure. Maniac was awesome. Art direction of Maniac. I'm only through the four shows, but Jonah Hill is. I hate him right now because I'm jealous of him and I'm inspired by him, and I'm like, yo, you're gonna make cool shit. I can't wait to see what he makes next. And I think that's silly to say from watching Superbad and Jonah Hill and like Superbad.
Was that his start? Was that he started off as an actor in Superbad? Was that kind of his big thing?
I think that was probably like his breakout role, but I feel like he was in more stuff before Superbad.
I mean, imagine he was at least a comedian before then.
Yeah. But also consider the fact that he has been in more than one Scorsese movie.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
What else? Moneyball wasn't Scorsese, was it?
Raging Bull.
I just watched
No,
Cape
but he wasn't Moneyball. That was written by Aaron Sorkin.
Sorkin. Yes.
Who directed it?
I loved Moneyball too. Moneyball was a great movie, but
It's a cool movie.
Oh, yeah, somebody famous directed Moneyball. I can't
Brad
remember.
Pitt and Jonah Hill,
Well, they starred in it.
they directed it too.
Michael Lewis is a con man, but whatever.
What's your favorite? All right, so since we're on Jonah Hill topic, what's your favorite Jonah Hill movie?
People commenting?
Oh, dude, you guys are
This is a
cool.
cool guy. I guess. His
Pass the
name's
rum.
Kamba.
I think his name's really Special K. I don't know who
I think he's a UFC fighter.
So, pass the hey, shout out to whoever you are. Kamala.
Definitely.
Kamala, dude, you're cool.
You're cool.
We're cool because you're cool.
Well, no, Adam. I think you're just totally cool with or without this Kamala fellow online. So.
Now, Special K to my left. He is.
He likes rum, I guess.
Well, I've been sipping rum for a little bit, so I
Sipping on that sizzle, right?
not drinking it out of the bottle.
Favorite Jonah Hill movie, fellas? Do you guys have one? I know he's been in a couple bangers.
21 Jump Street.
Oh yeah, I actually like 21 Jump Street.
Yeah. Both 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, and 23 and a half, and 28
all those
Jump
sequels.
Street. The best is at the end of what was it, 22 Jump Street, where they do like art school, like
We're
fucking,
going to astronaut school.
yeah, theological school. It's this seminary, you know, like that was the best. Like,
Did you know that for a while there, Sony was like had in production a spin-off, which was going to be a crossover between 21 Jump Street and Men in Black.
oh my God, how have they not made that yet?
I don't
Sony
know.
Pictures, hire us. We will make your spin-off. 26th and a half Jump Street.
I don't know what they have left movie-wise, because like they have Spider-Man, which is largely controlled by Marvel at this point.
Sony?
Yeah, they have the rights to Spider-Man and all like Spider-Man affiliated characters.
Sony makes good movies.
They make some, like,
Yeah.
but they've also. I'm pretty sure they just sold the rights to the Bond franchise.
Well, the Bond franchise, I don't know if it's our generation that isn't like, you know what? I love James Bond, and I miss the, like, it's kind of like the masculine presence in film. You know what I mean? And I know
It's
like
the
we're,
ultimate male fantasy.
well, exactly, and I know it's fucked up to say because we're in this like, you know, I believe in gender equality. I believe in all that, and like, but like there's that just like the James Bond. He's James Bond, man. Like
Yeah.
he's the ultimate man, badass. Like, but I mean, when saying that, like, it's not really applicable to our generation and our current status of.
I mean, Ian Fleming wrote Bond in what, the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, it was forever ago. It was a different lifestyle. I actually was at a like Polish. I was at a film fest movie. It's called is Division 303. It's about these old Jetfire airborne squadron in World War II, and like the whole dynamic between the world is completely a different place then and now. Men, women, just life in general, life and death. Like it's a whole different world we live in now. So it's hard for Ian Fleming's James Bond to survive currently.
It's got to transcend.
It would be cool to see a woman James Bond, or like a Jamie Bond, even though I wouldn't watch it.
I don't think we need.
I wouldn't watch it.
I don't think we need.
Sure, women would like
We have Atomic
I would watch
Blonde
the
already.
hell of a Jamie Bond.
Dude, Atomic Blonde was a shit.
If we get more movies like Atomic Blonde,
Yeah,
then I'll be. We don't need a Jane Blonde.
Exactly.
Jane Bond.
Good call, because I hate when like women should have their own thing. Like they shouldn't rip off male shit. Like Ocean's 8, I didn't see it. But, like,
My sisters
I don't know.
love that movie.
Well, that's good, awesome.
They also
Like, you
love
know?
the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, but shouldn't have
But
fucking
no,
made it.
I mean, like the thing is, like, do your own shit. Like, create your own voice. Become your own. Like,
I don't know these people. You know, they seem very
What people?
you guys. No, I think the thing is like, I know that the female characters, they need to be more of them so that little girls can grow up and kind of be able to emulate or have someone to look up towards. But I don't know. There has to be a balance, and I think right now you guys are talking about having a female James Bond character.
we're talking about how that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the point where it is a good idea, but I think you guys are right. Where like, if you're gonna have a female Bond character, it should be another name, or just make another.
A fully original character.
Yeah, fully original.
Like an Atomic Blonde.
Exactly. I love that point. I love that you correct me on it, because Atomic Blonde was the baddest ass chick, and it's the shot so
Like
beautiful.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, it was so great.
It was by the same. I don't remember which
Dude,
of
the
the two
director is a stunt director. He's the man.
Like the guys who created John Wick. Like one of them went on to make Atomic Blonde, and the other went on to make Dead.
So the director of John Wick, his
No,
stunt
the-
coordinator directed.
Well, no, like they were
Atomic Blonde.
like the two guys that co-directed John Wick.
Yes.
They were both stunt directors who worked on The Matrix.
Yes.
Wait, what's that guy?
Absolutely.
What's that
Chris
last one?
Gillespie.
I think we need to give this guy a shout out, because Atomic Blonde was badass.
Hey, go to the YouTube channel.
Thanks for killing the vibe, bro.
Yeah, no, what is that?
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Fortnite God.
What's up,
847. Welcome to Northside.
You're actually awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we become
Hey, Fortnite's sweet, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's a fun game. It's changing video games. It's fun. It's
I
cool.
don't get it. I haven't played it. It looks just like a third-person shooter, but graphics that
David
are
Leach.
like cartoon.
Yeah, it's fun, man. That's
Like
the key.
David, like David.
Fortnite is fun. Fortnite is fun to play, and I like that it's bringing back.
It's like
we're having two conversations. Let's let these guys finish.
Candace to House.
Yeah, badass movie, badass female presence.
Well, that
amazing.
was for John Wick.
Yeah. I'm just saying they are not Fortnite fans.
We could continue like.
Well, no, we're trying to get this.
We're trying. We should be parallel. It would be a parallel podcast. It's like for the viewer, you can kind of like choose which one you want to listen to.
Choose your podcast. All right, so me and Special K are going to be talking. They're also going to.
Yeah, we're going to be talking too. So
you guys
we're all good. So yeah, we'll keep talking. We're all going to keep talking. We could end the Atomic Blonde discussion pretty simply. Director's badass. Charlene Theron's badass. More female presence in films like that. Good shit.
Speaking of females, not quite a movie that I've seen, but on Thursday, in one sitting, I watched the entirety of The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Is it good?
How many episodes is that?
10 episodes.
It's an episode.
That's a day.
It was a day. It was.
Oh shit!
It was
a long day.
1 in the afternoon till about midnight.
What did you do before you started watching it?
Nothing really.
Okay.
Woke
That was
up.
my
Usually Joe's
that was my sick day.
usually Joe's stories that I'm familiar of always start with
Smoked a bunch of weed.
yeah, a big horse leg of a joint, and then I watched this. And then I watched this.
I could not smoke to watch The Haunting of Hill House this time because my mom was in town and she was staying with me and my sister.
Okay.
And what better way to start a story though than with? So it's higher than a fucking kite. That's
Flying.
Now I
the
did.
scene.
Now last night I did get high and rewatch Assault on Precinct 13, the original by John Carpenter.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah,
it
like
either.
I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember it. I watched Cape Fear last night, but you know.
The original or the new one?
The Scorsese
The
remake.
John De Niro one? What is it?
John De Niro.
Well, Robert
Is that Bobby De Niro's?
Are you trying to say like John Carpenter
It's Dave Franco. Dave Franco was in it. With.
for Assault on Precinct 13?
How do you think about Dave Franco?
I love Dave Franco. I don't know why. Me and my buddies, we love Dave Franco. I'm not gonna lie. Dave Franco is the man.
Oh yeah, he's
I could
great.
see you'd be kind of cast as a Dave Franco type. That's
Really?
a compliment. Oh hell yeah,
I'm cool.
I think so. Yeah.
I'll take this.
Did you see what was that movie about Tommy Wiseau? I'm blanking on the name.
The Disaster Artist?
Yeah, did you guys see that? Would you?
I
I haven't
loved
seen
it.
it.
I loved it.
It's on my watch list.
Loved
Have
it.
you seen the original too, The Room?
Love The Room.
I have not seen
Love
The Room.
Disaster
Yeah.
Artist.
It's like the only big, so bad it's good movie that I have not seen.
Oh, you like?
Yeah.
I feel like Joe. That's like right up your wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like you might love it. Just smoke a big fat horse leg blunt.
Like
You'll be good.
horse legs worth of blunt.
Is that how? Is that the analogy? Am I using
much,
it
it's like
incorrectly? Am I that cool? Am I that cool hip on the street?
If you got too high and watch The Room, it might ruin movies for you. Also, you run that risk.
Or you might get
I don't know.
transported.
I've gotten high and watched El Topo. If I can survive that,
Have you seen it?
You're still here. You're still talking to us. I haven't seen it actually.
I haven't seen that
oh my
either.
god, that is like, oh my god, it's like a trip sober. Like,
El Topo. What year was that made? Is that- What year is that?
mid
Oh,
late
it's
70s.
oh yeah okay.
Yeah, it's an acid western.
An acid
So
western.
Easy Rider,
Ooh,
except
never seen it.
bad. Well, Easy Rider, in my opinion, would have been considered bad if it didn't like get a couple lucky breaks by having a bunch of good music and a bunch of good future actors who would become stars.
Who was
the
in
future.
it? Who were the big guys? Was Dustin Hoffman?
No.
No, that was
the guy that
that was
started
directed by
Shining.
Dennis
No,
Hopper.
it was yeah.
Dennis Hopper.
He's that guy. And then what's his name? The guy with Peter Fonda and some other guys.
From The Shining.
That other guy.
Oh yeah, duh, Jack
Yeah, Jack Nicholson was
Jackson.
in
That.
But El Topo and anything by Jodorowsky is just trippy as balls.
How have I not heard of El Topo? Like, I mean, like, I feel. What is it about?
It's like a 3-part flick about this gunslinger who's trying to become like the greatest.
And it's
gunslinger.
bad. It sounds like
No, it's a
good.
great movie.
Gunslinger equals awesome. To me.
No, it's a great movie.
Pretty into it right
It's
now.
just so trippy.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, is it
what's-
like, do they
that sounds
use
good.
like, is with video techniques or like the story, like the
Everything.
plot
It's like
stripping?
as if Salvador Dali directed everything.
That sounds awesome.
It is.
Then why is it a bad movie?
I'm not saying it's a bad
Too
movie.
high.
Oh, all right.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying, like, if you can watch that while high, then you something.
You guys ever see Harold and Kumar go to White Castle? Yes. So you know the PSA commercial where it's like, I'm so high.
Actually, do you mind if I pull up? Actually, a friend.
I would love you.
It won't come up for the viewers.
Okay.
They can hear it.
Okay, yeah. Just go open a new tab.
We can only limit it to 15-second trailer.
Yeah.
Move on.
What were we about to start talking about? Special
Fortnite. You got Fortnite.
What's it on Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Yeah, so I'm basically pretty old, so I don't know what these young people are doing. I guess you are.
All I
considered
have
young
to say,
because you played it.
all I have to say about Fortnite is I think it recaptured something about video games that people had forgotten. That
Killing
it can be right. That they can include guns and you can shoot people. No, I think it brought back a social element. Even if not all of it's the best interactions, but it brought back the feeling of. Did you ever guys like have friends over and play like multi-tap 4-player, or do you ever like play like
all day Bond?
yeah,
N64,
James Bond
yeah.
tournaments and things like that. It brings back an element of that. Like it's simple, but it's clearly meant to be social and fun. Like the characters dance. It brought back everything that.
Huh.
So there's like a fatality where you get killed and the characters start dancing on your body or something.
Right. Yes. So it's annoying sometimes, but it definitely hit on a lot of chords. I think with people who hadn't been interested in video games in a while, it brought back a lot of that social element that had been missing from some modern games.
Yeah, because everyone I know plays it, especially my nieces and nephews.
All the
They're
kids
kind of like all the kids are
like
playing.
everyone who has an Xbox.
Yeah, and then even
Is it on Xbox?
It's an Xbox.
It's on everything.
it's on, yeah, I think it's on a PC also.
Free
Yeah.
Is it
game.
one
Xbox,
online community?
Like Xbox and Microsoft. Xbox. the same
Yeah, it overlaps, so I could play you
So
on PC.
Yeah.
You could be on
Whatever. Xbox Live goes to
7,
PS
whatever
Now.
Yeah.
I have the trailer
yeah.
for El Topo at the ready.
All right.
We got 15 seconds to Fortnite conversation has been killed by Joe McMaster for El Topo trailer. Viewers, watch out! You can't see this, so
Just prepare for some very weird sounds.
So right now I'm seeing since this is
black screen, ABKCO films.
Just describe in as much detail as you can.
Let's do it together. Let's do it.
For sure, yeah, at the same time too.
Lipstick, ketchup. They're putting ketchup.
What?
Ketchup.
Putting
Danny
ketchup on
DeVito
food, makeup
is
is-
putting ketchup on Thor.
So
What?
this is different.
telling
Putting a
you.
ring on his finger. There's a bunch of random scenes kind of stacked on top of one another. It's a lesbian kiss.
Kiss. Yes. Don't.
a
Like,
guy-
I don't know. Like just random
I love
stuff.
it.
Drinking.
I'm sold.
Okay, I think we could do this.
Yes.
We have the cameras and everything. We can do this. Except for the door
We can film
part.
this tonight.
We can film it. Well, yeah, Joe and Adam. We could film this tonight.
It's like halfway.
I agree.
We should do it.
There's body bags getting shot.
In fighting news, a guy's getting tapped out and punched in the face.
Tapped out.
You want to avoid that. I don't know a lot about fighting, but you want to avoid getting hit in the head.
No, he's just letting him hit in the head, just warming him up, getting him tired out. Like McGregor did to Khabib. He's just letting him tire out.
Just giving him a maybe.
This El
Oh my
Topo
God, this guy has no
sounds
arms.
great.
Oh, geez.
Sounds great. Looks great.
Joe
I'm gonna see it.
like when he wants to like get like show people who are like dwarves or like people with like without arms or legs, he actually hires dwarves and people without limbs.
What's that one movie? That carnival movie?
Which carnival movie?
There's like a horror carnival movie where like they had actors who didn't have arms
The
or
Notebook.
legs.
When you're
You know, it's like a freak show. You guys know that. It was like a 1930s movie where everyone who was an actor there actually had like a deformity, like they would have a missing arm or something. So they'd be like, you're the missing arm person in the circus, or you're like the tall man, and he would actually be really tall and stuff.
Wait, is your drink running low on both rum and ice cubes?
I am out of beer.
I feel like a round 2 might be in order.
round 2. I'm the only one who's pulled this, by the way, and I feel like
I'm just not a huge rum person.
I'm not a huge rum person.
I drink some rum with you, dude. I just didn't. I didn't drink it from the.
I'm an average sized person, but I like rum.
Let's do a little Max challenge. Hang on.
Beer.
Yes.
Get Mr. Mac Man, the Mac Master,
The last one of these.
Miggity Mac Master.
You got some rum in that cup?
Well, first do your ice throw.
Gonna fly now? Well, we need the rum needs to be in the cup.
No.
No,
Because then it spills all over me.
Yeah, but that was part of the fun, I thought.
It's for you.
Right. Well, maybe if you held it up.
Oh, we lost the audio. We lost the audio.
No, it's playing.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
faint.
playing over there. It's very quiet though. Oh, because I turned it down for the fight.
You know what?
The
You
Rocky
should turn the
game's
fight
fine.
down, honestly. But it's okay.
No, we keep the fight on, dude.
Fight can be on.
Oh, we got 2 likes now, and 7 people.
Fellas, are we filling here? Let's fill it up a little bit to entertain.
I text this link to some of my friends, so I think some of my friends
Actually, I should.
are like just coming on to see me drink because
Actually, my sister and her fiance.
Watching
are
special
watching
treatment.
it.
they're like, what's going on with Kamala's life? And they're like, I don't know.
Watching Special K drink is like an ultimate adventure of
It is
what's
not
gonna
an
happen next.
adventure. It's just kind of like
What's gonna happen next? What's gonna come out of this guy's mouth next? You know?
Okay, so
We're still chilling right now.
Okay, ready for this?
There's something going on.
the night is getting later and later.
Hold on, hold on.
Oh my god.
We can do both.
Throwing from the left corner, weighing in at 165 pounds.
The Philadelphia native.
I just like when Adam does that because, you know,
I got rum in my eyes, but I'm not even disappointed.
because he gets rum in his eyes. Like,
And also, this little girl's face on my shirt.
Get into the little boy soul, right?
I was just
Honestly, you're 2 for 2 tonight. He's on fire.
You guys can scroll back to around 12 minutes in. You can see another one of those if you want. Or you should probably turn down the audio.
No, turn it up. Turn it up into a victory lap. You deserve it. And get this rum all off me. Give me some wet wine.
You're trying to get this girl drunk here.
Oh shit. You can McMaster a little tipsy.
Well, no, I'm talking about the girl on my shirt.
Oh, what is the girl in your shirt?
It's my Night of the Living
Who
Dead shirt.
is that?
It's the little girl in the
Can
Night of the
somebody-
Living Dead is like in the
you didn't take a
basement the
pull?
whole
I'll
time.
take a pull, yeah. Take a pull
Like, have you
first.
seen the movie Night of the Living Dead?
I have not seen the Night of the
Oh,
Living
it's
Dead.
fantastic. It's my favorite of the Living Dead trilogy.
the black and white one, right? The original?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Night of the Living Dead. Never seen it.
You are missing out.
I know. I'm not a horror guy. I'm not a zombie guy. I'm not a.
This is like
anything guy.
this is the movie that started off zombies. Well, like zombies that were
That's
not
good.
Haitian zombies.
I don't know if I think people hate me because I dislike zombie movies. Like I'm like the one guy that's not into zombie movies.
I mean, zombie movies are zombies are kind of out of vogue.
Well, they were in vogue with
Oh yeah,
like,
they definitely were in vogue, but they've
with The Walking Dead,
yeah, but
with
like, that's definitely
whatever,
peaked
you know?
for now.
Yeah, it's peak. I mean, like same thing with vampires and like Twilight.
Well,
and
like they
shit, that
cycle
shit-
through. Like when one's in vogue, the other's not.
So I got a broad question. What is the fascination with vampires and zombies? Like, why those two specific things?
With zombies,
Chicks like vampires.
well, like zombies at the very least, it at least represents like an enemy that you can kill without feeling
Bad about killing them.
yeah, like
'Cause they're
it's
already
like
dead.
Like, like back in the 80s and such, like we were in the Cold War, so like everyone's like, all right, we have the Russians to fight against. And before that, World War II, it's like, oh, we got the Axis to fight against.
So-
And it's like there's no like definitive like good versus evil.
What you're saying is people need an enemy.
Yes, that's what zombies is.
Okay.
Now, vampires, ever since Dracula, have been made inherently sexual.
Yeah, chicks want to fuck
Well,
vampires.
not
Like,
just because like the very act of like being a vampire, like
Suck your blood on
yeah,
your neck.
just like the whole sucking like your life force out of your body.
I mean,
Very sexual. It is though, but I want to go back to zombies for a second because I think that's almost like the ultimate like nightmare for the human race. It's a disease that turns us into something that doesn't just die, but like actively tries to eat its own species. Like what could be
Well, like,
a
but
more
that's the thing
sinister
that the-
disease?
That's actually the nice thing about like Night of the Living Dead is that it portrays like how a zombie apocalypse would end.
Hey, do you guys have a? I know some of my friends. They have like a stash of food and weapons and whatnot if the whole world goes to pot.
Bug out bag.
Yeah, you guys
Bug out bag.
You're asking if I have potato chips?
That would last you 30 seconds.
We live in Chicago, and
Dude, I have friends in
We're
Chicago that would, like, they have
Unless someone has a
stuff.
boat.
you got like 1 point something million people here. You need a lot more than just a couple of potato chip bags.
No, anything as high as possible.
That can't possibly.
Joe is not on my team.
As high as possible. That's how I'm going to survive.
I'm not saying like
Everyone we know is to me like bloodthirsty niggas.
like as high like in a building.
The boy who cried wolf with the height.
Yeah, I'm saying like you gotta like. But
before we do that, we should
there
rip
for
a
a few days. And then once like everything's settled down, then you get a boat,
Then you get a boat, but you got
or
no
you just
gas.
go to the boats right away.
You know what we do if there's a zombie
Yeah, boat
apocalypse?
is the obvious solution.
Just have a drink, relax, take it easy.
No. You go. No, you get a semi. You start a raider crew.
shit.
You tie someone to the front who's like really feeling it. You get a stereo. Yeah. You become Mad Max as quickly as possible.
What was it called? Witness.
The first people to go all in, they're gonna win because no one's gonna beat you. If the second half, if someone's like, "Hey, there's zombies now," and then right away you're just like shotgunning down your neighbors.
When the
You're
zombie
gonna win.
apocalypse is ultimately put down, which will most likely happen within a year or so, and society rebuilds itself.
Then you're alive.
But then, I mean, like you feel weird about being the guy that was like right away going to become like a raider.
Yeah, like what's gonna happen?
Like, ah, shit, I did go straight.
Like, this guy killed a couple non-zombies. With judgment
This guy was zombie kill us immediately. I feel like we should
jumped the gun. Like the zombie apocalypse didn't even happen. Like,
almost like he was excited about
It's like
it.
he was just it's like as if he was just waiting for the first chance to just totally abandon all the rules of like society.
Right. But you okay? Well, it's either, in my opinion, it's either be that guy or you risk a much worse.
What's gonna
fate.
happen is people are gonna band together.
what's up with the Toyo tires only?
What?
Are we not watching the fighting?
No, it's a commercial.
Commercial? I
It
don't know.
doesn't look like a commercial name.
It looks like it might be Frozen.
Yeah,
Frozen?
We're gonna start losing viewers if we don't fix this.
I know.
yes, because people are watching.
Okay, so the people watching, it's a Saturday night, so come and join us by getting some beer or whatever
Did you
and drink along. That's what it's all about, yeah?
I like that. I don't know what's going on.
Hype.
And then
Cast.
watch some UFC fighting on the lower right screen when Max gets it all set up.
The zombies are coming.
No, it just, dude, I was just curious because like a lot of
Coming
my,
for you.
dude, a lot of my friends have like a bug out bag and all
Zombie.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, I know a guy that has like probably like 200,000 5.56 rounds buried in his yard. You know what I mean? Like
In Chicago? Or where?
No, in Texas.
Well, zombies themselves will be put
Well, what's the
down.
difference within like what's the difference between having like 5 Gs of like bug out gear? Like whatever, dude. Like
I mean, like that's totally fine if you want to like bug out gear. I'm just saying, like if you're gonna use that bug out gear for a zombie apocalypse, you're
Yeah.
not. It's not gonna be all that necessary after a little bit.
yeah, I feel like bug out gear is a backpack full of stuff and like maybe a couple weapons.
And also some gold.
Some gold, some Bitcoin.
Some big.
Some Bitcoin. Is that what you're saying? You're saying So you're telling me Bitcoin's making a comeback? Is that what you're
You guys
saying?
don't talk Bitcoin because I got
Bitcoin's coming.
something to say.
Nobody's listening
Invest
to
in
Bitcoin anymore.
No, seriously, you invest in Bitcoin? It's still pretty high.
My
huh?
buddy made like 80K on Bitcoin.
80K?
80K.
I was about to
He
invest
did
in
good.
Ethereum
He did good.
before like it just dropped to like half its value in September.
Chumps.
No, I was about to. I did not.
It's coming.
Like
It's
I
about to
tried
bounce
it, but then
back.
my bank's
I'm
like,
about
no,
to
you
bounce
can't
back.
buy Bitcoin. You can't buy Ethereum using this card.
I bought into cryptocurrencies on like the tail end of that that spike. No, I did.
Wow.
No, I came in. I think I went in. I put like $1,000 in.
You got 500 back.
At what? On what?
10 times my money in about 2 or 3 weeks, and then
Did you sell?
lost most of it.
Yeah, like it's basically.
Welcome to
I
Bitcoin.
ended with like
Coinbase.
I made like a couple $100.
that's
It's
good.
probably more than that. It's probably like
There you go, man.
yeah. But
So all this equipment here you got because of Bitcoin. This is nice, you know. Like,
yeah, Bitcoin has never got anybody anything.
Except for
It's got a couple Lambos I've heard on from chat.
How
Chat
pissed
board
off?
that I used to
So
come
you know,
on.
like the Winklevoss twins or whatever.
Oh, it's going to 50K by January.
Dude,
According to those
how
assholes.
pissed off are those people? Bitcoin's at 19K and now it's at 6 something. How pissed off? Like, look at that net worth. These guys went from like probably like billion. I don't know what their holdings are because nobody knows. But like,
I think they own enough Facebook that they're billionaires.
yeah, they're billionaires. They don't care.
I think
I don't
they got
think
Just
billionaires
because
yet. Like maybe millionaires, like high millionaires, but not billionaires. But with Bitcoin, they probably took it. They probably took care of
And
things.
that's just because like
they're gonna be fine.
But don't worry, dude.
that's just because like
Hey, if the Winklevoss twins are watching, would you be down to fight one of the Winklevoss twins? Would you be down to fight both of them at the same
I
time?
would be
If you give me my
What are the
brother,
terms? What are the terms?
the terms are me and my brother.
Okay, Adam Adamus and his brother against the Winklevoss twins. You heard it here.
now here's a
And
question.
you gotta pay me because
You and your brother fight the Winklevoss twins.
You guys got a paper trap on
we gotta pay for travel. I'm gonna pay you.
The Winklevoss
And give me a couple
for
Bitcoin.
years.
Give me a couple
Like
Bitcoin.
as bludgeons against the Winklevoss twins. That's the
Winklevoss
only way
twins.
you're gonna beat them.
Right, you need some type of.
Like they were Harvard growers.
Dude, I heard they're good people, man. Okay, dude. Have them throw a punch. They're worth a lot, dude. It's something better. Hey, special
I'm not like a big guy, so I have to think a little bit before I start the fight. And I'm doing an assessment here. And
Have you ever been in a fight?
5 rounds in the Chicago film scene?
Have you ever been in a fight?
I think I have. I think it was kindergarten.
Oh shit!
Still his food.
That 3-year-old girl must have fucked you up.
Well, not the 3-year-old. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, the 4-year-old.
I'll take the Adams brothers over the Winklevoss twins any day of the week.
Honestly, I have no problem with the Winklevoss twins, but I'd fight you for something.
I'll fight you for 7 figures.
I'll fight you for something.
Also, you're gonna need an whore.
Hey, D-Row crew, Cyro crew.
Hey, who's richer, the Winkles brothers or the Facebook person?
I'll fuck your crew
Mark
up.
Zuckerberg has a lot richer.
so-
Really?
No, he's only worth like $12.
No, seriously,
Yo,
because
Facebook took
Stock has dropped in the past week.
It has dropped,
He is
and-
still a 50
the
billion.
Winkles brothers came in at like Bitcoin like $1. That's what they came in at. So it's sort of like 15 grand
What
or
about-
10 grand, whatever. It's like,
What
Maybe
about
it's closer than I think. It might be closer.
yeah, and then they were in from the very start. So the very start is like $1,
They're trying to start
$2.
up their own.
Oh no, they probably came in around like closer to 3, 4, 500, or
Yeah.
maybe even 1,000.
Well,
They may be 10 times what
yeah,
they put
10
in.
times.
they
whatever.
got paid? The fight that should happen is not Adam versus Winklevoss twins. It's Mark Zuckerberg versus Winklevoss. Because like, he stole their fucking idea.
He needs to use one robot of his own making. Mark Zuckerberg and his robot of choice against the Winklevoss twins.
Dude,
That's still
that's
like
5 rounds?
It's like he has enough money to literally build himself like a Gundam battle suit if he wanted to.
I know, it's so cool. Why doesn't he do that? Why doesn't he like just put $10 million into a team of 5 guys to build himself an Iron Man suit? You can't tell
Build
me.
himself
Give
a
up on Oculus. Fuck Oculus. Those are guns.
No, Elon Musk is doing
himself
that.
a Voltron.
Elon Musk tweeted something about building a
Dude, I
mecha
bet you
suit.
Elon Musk is building sex robots, bro. Like undercover.
No,
He feels that.
Elon Musk does not need sex robots.
He's making electric cars and he's building sex robots.
Because that's the future, man.
honestly,
That's the future. And Elon Musk lives in the future.
porn is the
Features sex robots.
Those big battery packs for sex robots.
Like people don't think like
Battery powered
like this
sex robot
It's
just
like I don't
slamming.
It's like people don't think like, well, these inventors like, yeah, I'm gonna build this robot to better humanity. It's like I'm gonna build this robot so that way I have something to fuck.
Fuck it. I was talking to my buddy. I'm like,
I'd like the world to be better, but I also want to fuck.
maybe nobody wants to fuck me, so maybe we'll build a robot.
If the robot turns you down after like 5 years of painstaking research,
Dude, that would be bad, dude.
Also,
That's what it
it was like,
probably the incel problem would be solved.
is. Robots on the Me Too.
Yeah, if there was just like robots.
create an army of robots to just like roam North America fucking all the incels.
Yeah, just like have like robot brothels. It's like something straight straight.
It's about to happen.
Honestly,
but it's about to happen.
Robot
Like 20
brothel
years.
seems very realistic.
It's like 20 years away. I'm telling you, it's 20. Elon Musk is putting that shit on Mars, dude. He's putting robot fucking brothel.
Mars is just a red light planet.
It's fucking all Teslas.
Red light districts.
Red light.
We got an entire red light planet.
Shit. SpaceX.
Everyone on
shit to fucking party.
If you go to Mars, you're either doing a shitload of blow or you're banging robots.
Martian chicks are fucking cool, bro.
Okay, I think we should get a little based on reality.
Let me drink. Let me go.
Our viewers are spiking right now.
Whoa.
Actually, the 8 people are. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. I guess
We actually are now. This is not the UFC fight.
Yo, hey, can we try turning it off?
Also, guys, just hear me out. Right now, like this Oculus Rift. But I'm betting that Pornhub working on the Oculus Rift.
Dude, like, I know you're making a joke, but no joke, it's legit, dude. Like,
the porn industry was like the people who decided, like, all right, we're gonna stick with Blu-ray.
yeah,
That's how
not
Blu-ray
beta.
performed.
We're going to whatever videotape, not Betamax.
They helped. They decided like VHS is gonna be it. Then
Internet, the internet, the internet wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to.
porn is gonna propel.
Porn propels technology. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
what's the
trying to
next
do.
technology that porn's gonna propel?
AI and VR.
AI.
Fuck robots.
Basically, they're gonna build an AI that will like just ignore you.
No, it's gonna be an algorithm that's gonna be suited to all your needs. It's gonna learn the way you love to make passionate love making.
Oh, we're still on the subject of sex robots. I've already talked about this. I've seen Ex Machina.
that is what the future is gonna be.
Exactly.
They're all gonna cheat on you to escape from some dungeon in the basement.
Just as Willis.
It's pretty much the same thing as going on now, just with a robot.
Just a robot that's just as Willis.
So a robot that will basically not basically will be.
Ladies, just
Alicia Vikander,
as just as willing to eat their bush.
So okay, here's the deal. Like, how would we improve if we build a female robot that acts just like a regular robot that does nothing?
Well, then it doesn't need to be female or male. It could just be a robot that acts like a robot and does like algorithmic stuff. And like it's cool. It's coming. T2 is about to happen. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is about to be looking for Sarah Connor, and we're about to be fucked. Dude, I know I brought up Elon Musk, but Elon Musk hates AI. Well, he sees the danger in AI, and then Mark Zuckerberg sees the beauty in AI, and there's a little balance there, you know.
Personally, when it comes to AI, I see it turning out more like Her than Terminator. The movie Her.
Well, Her is a bunch of like.
I don't think it's going to be weaponized that quickly.
No, it's gonna be more like.
It'll just be like it'll just like
start
banging us.
You just replace her with some person in India. That would be the same thing.
No, man.
Yeah, because they'd be like, hey, I'm feeling lonely, and the other person's like, oh,
And then they're
it's the same
can't
thing.
do that. I was about to do an accent, but with a poo getting kicked out of the Simpsons, I'm keeping comments to myself.
See some of that.
do it while Apu is still in the
See
Simpsons.
some of this.
A poo.
Yeah, he's leaving the Simpsons.
So I miss a poo. I like the poo, and I'm gonna say it, man. Like, if we're in a society that like can't handle a poo, like, man, we can't take jokes. Like, fuck.
I mean, has anyone even still watch The Simpsons?
I don't watch.
I don't watch.
I forgot it was still a thing.
I
So,
only
here's another thing.
like when I watch I own The Simpsons seasons 1 through. That's all I watch. Like the golden age of The Simpsons, especially from season 3 through 8.
I kind of agree with that statement. Yeah, I kind of agree with that statement. I like the first two. So, does it feel like college?
Well,
That feels like
I'm taking. Did you take it from the bottle? That means it feels like that.
Oh, jeez, man.
Oh, jeez, man.
Adam, I'm taking that.
Do you need a,
Okay, dude, give me.
Do you want to ride your scooter?
I'm gonna take. Dude, I'm looking for my scooter now, so I definitely have to take it from the bottle.
No, I mean, if you ride a scooter here and you can't take a pull from the bottle, it means nothing. So here's the thing. Like, if you, I don't care. I literally don't care what you do. How you take it.
Come on.
Listen,
I will take it from the bottle.
honestly, I don't think we could let you take it from the bottle.
I'm getting rejected by Adam. So, okay, we can do this.
We are preparing Max's future career.
It's become a thing now because it's been so successful. Our viewers have spiked every time we've done this.
He's putting more alcohol in here so that Joe will get flashed,
and then you can take from the bottle.
I do not hear Rocky.
Okay, we gotta get Rocky.
We lost the audio seed for Rocky. It's playing, but it's not coming through. Oh shit! Right here. What about this?
Should be.
What about this?
Theoretically. Should be.
Yeah. What is this? It's some kind of a.
I think he's just been playing this playlist this whole time.
It's entirely possible.
Whole time.
It's entirely possible. Got a fly notes up there. Got a fly notes up there.
There we go.
Nobody can hear it.
Nobody can hear it because it's so far. But it's cool. It's okay. We're gonna get Joseph all wet again. Closer to his face. Closer.
Alright.
Fucking kept.
So when are we? So when should we expect you to show up in the NBA draft? So when should we expect you
For tossing ice cubes into here.
You guys heard Jimmer Fredette?
Now you get to take a shot from the
My
mouth.
protege.
But he's in China now. It's weird because I saw him play like in the tournament, and I was like, dude, this guy's gonna go far. But just like Christian Slater, he's like, no.
Christian Slater.
Christian,
Christian Slater?
No.
Jet Elise. I don't know about Jet Elise. Jet Elise, the one? What? Aaron Swear?
That's Aaron, the guy who.
Jet,
Aaron.
There's a new viewer commenting.
That's annoying.
What are your opinion on Jet Elise?
Ban him? Jet Elise?
Jet Elise, the one.
You mean Jet Li?
Is the one where he fought on the pit that rises to the top? Oh no,
I haven't seen
is that
it.
with DMX?
I haven't seen that either. I don't think I've seen it, so I'd like to get more information.
Aaron, we haven't seen it.
Aaron, give us more information.
Martial arts movies. What's that? I've been meaning to watch more martial arts movies.
Yeah,
Like,
I
the
just
last
watched Kill
martial
Bill
arts movies
again.
I have watched was Eat Man.
Eat Man?
You watch the weirdest movies, my friend.
No, it's like
The most important movies.
Eat Man is a martial arts movie biopic about this practitioner of Wing Chun Kung Fu named who basically lived in China during
Cannot stop
during World War II. And he was eventually recognized as the best martial artist in China. And he would eventually go on to mentor Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he was the one who taught Bruce Lee martial arts.
You know who taught the guy that taught Bruce Lee martial arts? The Winklevoss one.
Oh, dude, you know that. Like, I
so.
just did a Google search. I'm like, who the hell is IPN, right? Like,
Really? You just did a Google search?
I don't know about that movie, but what do you guys think about Kill Bill?
I like it.
Oh, it
Volume
sucks.
1, 2, everyone's seen that,
it's
right?
old, but I like it. I don't know
The
why.
director is a loser. The director is such a loser.
You have probably modeled Tarantino in your...
I love it. No, Tarantino is cool. I like
You know, like Kill Bill, I think that's like the series.
What
That's
about
what she's
Kill?
suing. She's suing Tarantino.
Who?
Uma Thurman?
Thurman? For what?
For putting her into like action scenes that
Oh, so,
dangerous.
yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. So that one scene when she's driving, she was actually driving and talking to the camera, and she didn't like the fact, and she crashed and got a whiplash.
she did get a little bit hurt. So like
That one scene when she's like,
And I'm going to kill the last one. You know the one, the only one left. I'm going to kill Bill.
She could have told him no.
I think she crashed during that scene.
I'm
It
not
might have been
gonna
during a
take
different
this
scene, but
But she didn't have to do the scene.
well,
yeah.
but you know, like
I would say that, but it's kind of like in the moment, you're just like, yeah.
Let's do the scene.
I don't
And
feel
then
like
20 years later, or 10 years.
Yeah, but no, I'm on Tarantino's side of
Yeah,
any
dude.
argument.
Yeah, dude.
well, no. Here's the deal. I'm not on his side. No, I'm not on his side because she actually got hurt, right? So if she didn't get hurt, then I would be on the director's side. But since she
Why
got
should she
hurt,
do it?
she did it because you're in a big movie. And there's a scene that the director wants, and the director is telling